The Mamamoo podcast is supported by We Are Mamas, a Spanish brand created by mums for mums. And it's in Cyprus because the female founder behind Wiggle wanted to offer the options to mums on the island, something she didn't have during her pregnancy experience. Motherhood isn't always the picture-perfect version we see on social media. We all know that. And so many mums find themselves thinking, why didn't anyone tell me about this? The postpartum period can be exhausting, overwhelming, and emotionally challenging. And that's where We Are Mamas steps in. Their SOS postpartum kits are designed to make those first few days a little bit easier with everything you need for comfort and care. They also offer thoughtful products like the hot and cold clay pad, super comfortable postpartum pants and pads, and massage oils, and a C-section roller to support scar recovery and gentle self-care. Everything is created to support you through pregnancy and beyond, making your postpartum journey a little more manageable and a little more comfortable. You can find We Are Mamas exclusively at Wiggle. Hello. I am Eleni, and following is a discussion with Costa Constanti, who has academic and professional experience in psychology, politics, history, international relations, and law. He is the director of Constanti, a consultancy specializing in social and political analysis, research and project management in conflict, civil society, and diplomacy. Enjoy. Welcome back to the studio. Why are you looking at me? Yeah, we've started. We're in a hurry today. Not really, but kind of, because I've kindly asked the construction workers. I know that my podcast has been a bit loud and noisy lately, and I apologize, but I've asked them to shut the fuck up for 1 hour so we can get into business. Got 3 topics for you today.
Brilliant. Bring them on.
Right. First one is the war. Mm-hmm. Whatever's going on there. Is it a war? What is it? Is it an intervention?
A misunderstanding.
Whatever.
The greatest war.
Yeah. Foot and mouth disease, which is, for some reason, is really pissing me off is the word. It's the word that I'm looking for. And we've got elections for obvious reasons. So, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right. The war. Right. First of all, I went back and we had recorded a podcast on Iran, Israel in June or July of 2025. Something was going on back there as well. Yeah. Can't really remember what it was.
It was cooking.
It was cooking. So my first question is, did we see this coming? Did you see this coming?
I think we saw this coming because if you remember when we talked about Iran attacking Israel back then, I had said, and I think you agreed, that it looked like a playbook. It looked like, hello, Tel Aviv, this is Tehran. I'm going to send you 6 rockets and they're going to land in these coordinates, so be ready for them. And then, hi, Tehran, this is Tel Aviv. I'm going to send you 6 rockets back and they're going to land at these coordinates. Are we good? Yes, we're good. Let's go.
Okay.
And it looked so rehearsed. It looked so like, tit for tat. It looked very structured and it didn't feel warlike, as weird as that sounds with rockets coming down. This time is different.
What's different?
We're seeing randomness to it. We're seeing rockets falling at random locations that are breaching the Iron Dome, that are hitting the ground, that people are getting killed on both sides of the battle, both in Iran and in Israel. we're also seeing attacks on the UAE, on Oman, on Saudi, on Qatar.
That, because a lot of people are confused about that.
Yeah.
Why is Iran attacking them? It's because of their bases, yeah?
Iran's claim is that they're attacking U.S. military interests in these nations.
Okay.
And yes, there's truth to that. Now, what we need to clarify here is that when we're seeing these images of the famous Dubai landmarks, let's say, with plumes of smoke going up next to them, the image we're getting is, ballistic missiles are hitting the civilian cities of the UAE.
But that's not the case.
It's not exactly that. What it is the rockets or the drones are being intercepted in the sky by U.S. forces or Gulf state forces, okay?
And that's shrapnel.
And that shrapnel and debris is coming down and hitting the ground. Now, don't get me wrong. There are the stray drones, and I mean, war is not perfect, okay?
Yeah.
It can be if we want it to be, but we all know that's not how it works. So what's happening is that indeed debris is what's falling down and killing people. Because if it was a ballistic missile hitting the Burj Khalifa and things like that, it would not be standing today, okay? So it is fuel-laden, explosive-filled debris that's hitting the ground. It's still dangerous. We have this perception, and I know that the Israelis have this perception that a drone or a rocket that's intercepted is cleared and you're safe. That's not the case. In fact, we know the trajectory of a rocket and we know where it's going to hit and we can vacate that property, let's say. But when you hit it up in the sky and intercept it, it becomes multiple pieces and then science is out the window. And it can land anywhere. And that's the problem. And that's why basically entire towns and cities are going into bunkers because they don't know where it's going to land.
At this moment, on the 24th of March, 11:15, are there still drones and rockets and ballistics being fired?
Yes. Contrary to Trump's Truth Social tweet, or whatever you want to call it, where he said...
Don't you dare ridicule that platform.
Is there anyone actually on that other than him?
I don't know. That's a very valid question.
Because I don't think I've ever heard any other leader or pop group or podcaster talking about truth.
Who is on there anyway?
Well, it's Trump and I guess the media to follow Trump.
Exactly. I was going to say,
so
a bunch of
it's
journalists.
the press secretary of Trump, basically. Anyway, so he made this announcement just yesterday or the day before now. I'm losing track of time. But he made this statement that the United States of America, with that country, Iran, or Iran, as they would say, we've agreed to discussions and we will stop our hostilities in the Middle East, which I found very ironic. Not ironic. It was an unfortunate phrase because when you say our hostilities in the Middle East, hang on a second, I thought your hostilities were against Iran. Are you dropping bombs elsewhere that we weren't aware of? Or are you including Gaza or what's happening now in the West Bank? You know. So anyway, he said we're stopping hostilities so we can talk for X number of days. Immediately, the Iranian government pulled a Christodoulidis and said, no, we're not talking. Who told you that we're talking? We're not talking. We're still on. And I thought that was insanely humiliating for Trump and his administration because you're coming out saying peace in our time, and actually the opposition or your counterpart has gone.
So is it safe to assume that he has absolutely no effing idea what he's doing?
I think we can comfortably say that.
So did he start this intervention or war or whatever you want to call it without a plan?
Yeah.
Really?
I think he was expecting to shock and awe Iran. And I think he way underestimated. I mean, I really wonder who his advisors are.
But why would he underestimate a people like... And sorry, not a people, a regime.
A regime, because we have to separate. Let's be very clear now, because there is Iran and the people who are beautiful, wonderful people, who most of them are against the regime. And I will say most, not all, okay? I mean, in all countries, there are for and against.
I would like to come to what's going on in the diaspora and in Iran. So, let's stick to Trump and his plan, and then we'll move to that.
So now what Trump, look, you and I could have told Trump that you failed in Afghanistan, you failed in Iraq, back in the day you failed in Vietnam, you failed in so many different places, and they are a walk in the park compared to Iran. Iraq is flat. You fly over it and you see everything. Okay. The population is much smaller. It's already a fragmented society, and it's basically bankrupt. It has oil wealth, sure, but on the ground, it's bankrupt. Then you have Iran. 90 million people, mountainous, huge.
Yeah.
Okay?
Huge.
And developed. It's got a first world culture to it, okay? It's a developed world culture, I should say. It's got the weaponry, it's got defense, it's got a nuclear program. I mean, well, that's why apparently we're going in there to demolish the nuclear program. So they are well advanced. How do you expect it to compare to any of your other conflicts where you failed? And yet he went gung-ho in. Now, I believe...
So why?
I believe that Netanyahu pushed his hand.
Okay, I was going to say.
I think Netanyahu, in his insane bid to win his conflict, his war, his issues, has basically forced Trump's hand and dragged him into a war.
Well, not really forced. I would say probably played on the no other president has done this.
Yeah.
You're the only one who can do this.
Yes.
All those lovely little pretty lies that Trump
and look, and at the
likes.
end of the day, it's not Trump on the ground in Iran. You know, and at the moment, sure, there's not even US boots on the ground, but there's talk about that.
There is talk about
and
that.
that will be the Italian invasion of Greece in World War. It will be a disaster because they're not prepared for it. They can't. They just simply cannot. If we see US boots on the ground in Iran, it's over.
We've moved to a different...
We've moved to a totally different game, and the US will lose that. They can't win that. They simply cannot beat the Iranians on the ground.
Yeah. And we haven't mentioned also the fact that, you know, he campaigned on no wars.
Yes, how's that going?
there's a lot going on in the MAGA core right now, and it feels like there are problems that are surfacing.
Yes and no. I feel that they will constantly move the goalpost.
You think, huh?
I think because it's a dignity thing. Because at the end of the day, we know that Trump can't do a third term.
Yeah.
Look, to change the Constitution to a point where he can run for a third term, you need X number of states to agree.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not that easy.
Now,
he can mess with the midterms, though.
Of course he can. He can also make sure that the next term is his, but via a puppet. Now, whether it's his vice president...
Oh, you forgot his name.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's missing. He's MIA in all this.
And I must admit, I don't think Vance is on board. I don't feel
obviously.
it. Yeah. I mean, you got to remember that Vance's wife, for example, was a staunch Democrat in the old days.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Vance was a relative moderate. Vance actually had criticized Trump in the early days.
Yeah, called him Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that he may, and I like to believe this, I think behind closed doors he's going, what's my boss doing? This is insane. On the other hand, he could be playing low key, so he's not the
Same
enemy.
goes for Rubio, by the way. He's awfully quiet. What have you got to say about Rubio?
Well, he happily wears the leather shoes that Trump bought him. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He seems like a yes man, but I think he's also being embarrassed at the moment.
Yeah. And I also think that he has future plans that he doesn't want to mess with.
Yes, yeah.
Same goes for JD as well.
yeah,
I think they've both got their eyes on
Vance and Rubio.
the White House.
Have eyes on the White House. I don't think any of them can make the cut, to be honest with you. But then on the other hand, I don't know who the alternatives are.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's too early to start planning. However, sorry, I want to go back to what I said about Trump's third term.
Yeah.
There is one way where he can stay in power longer, and that's by the US officially being in a state of war, and emergency rules kick in, and he can delay elections because we are at war. That he could do, and I have a feeling he may be trying for that.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what the end goal really is. Like, why stay in power longer? What are you really going to achieve? Because if you're too busy fighting a war somewhere, then you can't really enact the changes that you want to do in the US, right or wrong. So
he's probably just got that Silicon Valley mentality, just what is it? Move fast, break things.
Yeah.
What is it?
Move
Something
fast,
like that.
and then don't look back.
And
just keep moving forward.
Going. I want to go back to the Iranian people and the diaspora. So again, I think I found myself in a similar place when on the 7th of October, when Hamas attacked Israel. And, you know, we're when you don't have that much information and you're seeing blood and death and bodies and everything, and you're like, oh my God. And then you've got the narrative saying, look, these were oppressed people. There's a reason why this is happening.
Yeah.
Fast forward now to the bombing of Iran, and there were people cheering.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, okay, are we supposed to be happy?
It's a tough one, to be honest with you.
I found myself very, very confused, Costa, and I think a lot of people did.
And for me, the jury's a little bit out, because obviously a lot of the Iranians or Persians in the diaspora are against the regime, and there's a reason why they left Iran, and I understand that. To be celebrating the potential dismantling of the Ayatollah and the system and a change of regime, I can see cause for celebration. It's hard not to celebrate when you think change is coming, even though the reality is that people are being killed and there's insane damage being done to the country and its resources and whatnot.
And what about the other reality that even if, you have knocked out the Ayatollah and a lot of his relatives and group around him, is that enough?
No, because regime changes don't happen with removing the head of a snake. I mean, regime changes come... Democracy is a slow process. It's an incredibly slow process. It took Australia 60 years to federalise. Okay, that's Australia. So,
but someone will say, we've got to start from somewhere.
You have to start from somewhere, and the regime does need to change. Now, the regime, and this is where I think this is what's happened. You started seeing a change on the streets of Iran.
Yep.
Women started wearing their hijabs a bit looser. Music
started... The woman life freedom movement was massive.
Yeah, I mean, like we have women in Saudi Arabia, for example, driving now. Like regimes can stay in place and slowly democratize because the next person in line sees things different.
Yeah.
The pushback from the people. It doesn't happen fast enough, and there are deaths in the process. Okay, we were like hangings the other day of the wrestler and things like that. What I am concerned, my big concern is, let's say you remove the regime. The vacuum can be more dangerous. And we saw this in Iraq, and we saw this in Libya.
Yeah.
And we've seen this in a few other places. Regime changes can't happen overnight. You need to have a plan in place, and not as the external. The US shouldn't have the plan in place. The Iranians should have the plan in place. I think a big mistake would be to bring the Shah back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because... I'm sorry, in the year 2026, we're going to bring royalty back into the Middle East. I mean, what's the narrative? Fair is fair. He was next in line. Is that it?
Well,
he was next in, but I mean,
and also there's something about him being a transitional leader. So he's not actually going to take over. He's going to be...
Yeah, but
what's the word?
Transitional lead, interim. But I mean, we're seeing this kind of like in Syria, aren't we? Where I can't remember his name, I've just gone blank, but the leader of the Syria, which was from al-Nusra, who was a former ISIS-style militant enemy of the West.
Yeah.
And now he's leading Syria, allegedly interim, but that's been like over a year or so now.
Okay.
So I think we have to be very careful bringing in a Shah. Whilst I'm sure he's going to be more democratic and more open-minded, you also have to remember who are the people. The Shah
people around him I've heard are problematic.
Yeah.
I've heard that from Iranian...
Yeah, and look...
influencers.
The changes were happening on the ground in Iran slowly, and I think that the US wanted to rush in, and Israel wanted to rush in as quick as possible before that change started becoming more well-known internationally.
Okay.
So we could have more sympathy for the cause to fight. If the Shah wants to run in an election and be a president or prime minister, sure.
Okay.
But I think the days of royal... I mean, look, what happened in Greece in 1974? I mean, you removed the dictatorship. That didn't mean bring back the king.
Yeah.
And today we have a democracy, albeit fragmented in Greece. I think Iran is too big to fail. It's too dangerous to fail in that part of the world.
Yeah.
But it needs to be taken serious.
It does.
It needs to be taken serious, and it is a regional player.
Yeah. And I was also mentioning this morning to one of my neighbours the video that they posted with the missiles underground. Did you see that?
I didn't know. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, sure.
Look, in a mountainous area like that, no matter how much scanning you do, you can't.
Yeah. Well, I say that because apparently during the 12-day war, when was it? And Trump apparently said that he had obliterated.
Yeah, no. It's not physically possible. I don't think people understand how big Iran is. That's half the size of Europe. Okay? You cannot pinpoint every military location, weaponry. I mean, okay, something that our listeners will hear and understand better. How small is Gaza? Gaza is the distance from Larnaca to Brodara.
Okay.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
Okay. And yet 3,000 rockets left Gaza to hit Israeli-controlled territory. Okay?
Yeah.
3,000. And this was a little chunk of land, flat, visible, surrounded by Israeli troops, observed 24 hours. What went in and what came out was checked and challenged.
Yeah.
Okay?
And there's still no guarantee that Hamas has been obliterated.
Correct. And yet we have 3,000 rockets.
Yeah.
Now let's go over to Iran. 1,000 times bigger than the Gaza.
Yeah.
Half the size of Europe, mountainous, 90 million people.
Yeah.
And with support from Russia,
Yeah.
with support, one would say, maybe from India and China. Okay?
Yeah.
These countries are all up against the US right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, these are proxy wars as well.
Yeah. And the drones, I wanted to mention, let's bring it locally.
Yeah.
The drone that hit Agrodiri. Do we know if that came from Iran?
The understanding is that it actually came from Hezbollah in
It was
Lebanon.
Hezbollah,
Because
okay.
I know I'm not an expert on the science behind it, but a drone that hit Agrodiri, that type of drone, couldn't have come from Iran and made the distance undetected and whatnot.
Okay.
It most likely, because it's not confirmed. I believe.
Yeah.
I think the British have said it's confirmed, but who knows?
Okay.
And that hit on target. I mean, it was a pretty good hit. Okay,
Yeah.
it was direct.
Yeah.
I mean, it hit the actual hangar with the American planes inside. I mean, that was pretty
Scary.
impressive.
And scary.
I mean, yeah, it's scary, but it's also pretty impressive. This, in one way, should allay our fears as Cypriots that our cities could be hit because they're pretty pinpoint accurate. On the other hand, the debris factor I mean, do you remember in 2019 we had a missile from Syria, accidentally, maybe on purpose, land just 9 kilometers away we're talking now.
Yeah.
9 kilometers is a blink away.
Yeah.
And that was an accident, and it landed in an empty field.
Yeah.
Had that landed in the middle of Lidra or Magario, you can imagine the damage it could have caused.
Yeah. And also I heard that those type of drones that hit Agrodiri, apparently Iran and its proxies have an unlimited supply of those things.
20,000 of them have hit Ukraine from Russia.
So they could literally, just toss them out, throw them just to keep us on edge.
Yeah, they're so quick to make. They're relative. They cost nothing to make. Well, when I say nothing, in the scope of international relations, they cost nothing to make, but to knock them out costs a lot. Those anti-drone rocket missiles coming out of the defense aren't cheap.
Yeah.
And right now, the rumor or the story going around is that the Gulf states, the US, Israel are starting to run out of defensive ammunition.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of have the feeling that that's what Iran is playing on, the waiting game, the long game. So
I've read from a few experts that if anything, Iran has a lot of patience.
it has a lot of pay. Where's it going to go?
Yeah.
It's got what it wants.
Yeah.
So we tire the Iron Dome out. We tire the
And it's
Middle
also
East
making
out.
money now, apparently, charging for the Straits of My God, like, how could this backfire anymore? Sorry, that's not pun intended, but how much could this backfire already?
Well, I mean, look, and another, the Straits of Hormuz as well. Like, what were you thinking when you didn't go and secure them before you started this war? I mean, this is 20% of the world's energy source.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this, I had on Friday morning, I recorded a podcast with Achilleas Emilianidis, who is a lawyer, sorry, and the dean of the University of Nicosia, the law. One of my questions to him is that we are living through very serious times, and the political scene is made up of very unserious actors.
Yes. Yeah.
So talking about
irrational actors.
Yeah, so talking
sporadic.
about the Straits of Hormuz and this war overall, it's all started from a very unserious person who has been swayed or manipulated by another person to do what it's doing now and have this massive ripple effect, economical ripple effect on the West.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that we're going to see more unserious actors enter this game.
Well, we are...
Is it going to make it worse? Or are we going to just see a new type of...
A new normal?
A new normal?
I think we've had this new normal for a while now. And the new normal also means that we ignore major crises around the world. For example, everyone seems to have forgotten about Gaza and the West Bank, the Palestinian issues. Yeah. We've not even noticed that Cuba doesn't have electricity at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, and I haven't followed it up, but apparently everyone and all the ICU patients, all those on life support died this week in Cuba because there wasn't enough power in the generators to keep them going. And I mean, and Trump and Rubio have made it very clear that they're going after Cuba next.
Yeah, well, they're going to save it.
Yeah, they're going to save it. They're going to take over like they did in Venezuela. You know,
didn't they say Venezuela?
Well, I'm sorry, but is anyone talking about Venezuela today?
No.
Does anyone know what's happening to the leader that they literally flew in and kidnapped their head of state, whether he should be there or not? And okay, sorry, this is the new world normal, by the way. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
So you had the leader of Venezuela, who is wrong.
Yeah.
You had the leader of the US, who is wrong.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you pick one or the other. They can both be wrong. Yeah. Flying in and kidnapping the head of state is not the way things are done.
I know.
And then installing the opposition as their leader or whatever. I mean, like, who knows what's going on in Venezuela today? You need to literally really do a deep dive to find out information. The same as Cuba.
Yeah.
And now the same as Iran. I mean, Trump himself, I mean, I have to laugh. It made me laugh. And he's gone, we had a replacement ready for the Ayatollah when we killed him, but unfortunately we killed them all.
Oops.
But you don't say that.
Oops.
You don't say that like our plan went to hell. You don't say that.
Yeah.
And he did. And so then they spent all this money, all this effort, all these deaths to replace the Ayatollah Khomeini with Ayatollah Khomeini. His son, who, from what I understand, is now in Moscow on life support.
Oh, is he really?
And I don't know.
No one even knows.
No one knows.
No one knows.
And then at the same time, the rumor mill. This is again the world of modern social media. The rumor mill. One says that he's in Moscow on life support, having lost a leg, and he's in a coma because of some injury. Other rumors are, the CIA had confirmed that the man was gay. So?
Oh, I heard that as well.
But so?
Yeah.
So? Okay, well, because he's gay, it's against the regime's ideals. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've got to stick that woke agenda in somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God. All right. Okay. Right. Let's move on so we can catch up with everything else. Foot and mouth disease.
Mm-hmm. What a kerfuddle.
Oh, my God. I've been so upset about this, honestly. Yeah. I've been following it. I haven't really posted anything on my social media because it just seems like such a sad situation. But I did want to mention that I don't know if you noticed a Cyprus Mail article that came out, I think over the weekend, by a reporter who covered the foot and mouth disease 25 years ago in England.
Okay.
Right. So, weird coincidence. Exactly 25 years ago, on the 20th of February 2001, the first FMD was confirmed in pigs in Essex.
Okay.
Conspiracy theory.
I'm listening.
You're listening. It took 11 months and it cleared over 9,000 British farms of livestock. And it claimed the lives of millions of animals, even deers. Mm-hmm. Deer. There's no
deer.
Deer, yeah.
Deer.
The financial costs were £8 billion in direct costs to the British government. And it continued spreading until September of 2001. And the UK was finally declared free of FMD in January of 2002. It took them over a year to clear completely, and that was only because they immediately started doing...
To be really honest with you, around a year, that's actually not bad.
Of course it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, here we are in Cyprus.
I'm saying that as a good thing. It was over within a year.
And we're talking about a massive
Exactly.
space,
A massive space. And we're
9,000 farms.
Yeah. And what I want your opinion on, obviously, to comment on the overall situation, but there were no protests. There was no, you're not coming into my farm to test or to vaccinate or to slaughter.
Yep.
There
Why?
was none of that.
Why?
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because let's give the benefit of the doubt to the government. Let's say that the government from day one reacted well and put in all the measures and protocols in place according to the EU regulations and our local regulations. Let's say that they did everything right.
Yeah.
Okay. We as Cypriots know the compensation is slow to come in Cyprus. State support is slow to come to Cyprus. And we also know that when state support is announced, it takes forever to be delivered. And in the meantime, people go hungry, businesses fold, disasters for family businesses. Okay.
True.
Now, how this started, apparently it began in the north. Okay. There were, according to different reports, there was a little bit of hiding the fact, a little bit of trying to hint the fact to the Republic's authorities. Allegedly at the checkpoints, trucks carrying goods, whatever, were being checked and sprayed and whatnot. So let's go with the benefit of the doubt that everything was being done correctly.
Okay.
When the first foot and mouth disease appeared in a farm in the south, how did it spread from there? Did it come across naturally over the green line? We don't have deer. We don't have hoofed animals running around. We have some mouflon, but they're on the total other side of the island, okay? We don't have carriers that would have walked into a farm, let's say.
Yeah.
However, if some rumors are that they were illegally smuggling things over the green line, which carry the disease over and whatnot. There's other rumors that they were spreading it on purpose to hide the source of ground zero. So basically the farmer says, oh, I don't want it to be known that I'm ground zero. So I take one of my sheep or go to other farms and spread the disease and throw the scent. That's all rumors. I'm not going to confirm any of them because I don't know.
Okay.
But again, if I was a farmer, and really my heart breaks for them because we're talking about mum and dad businesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, literally.
And they're watching their animals being slaughtered because the vaccinations were slow to roll out. The uptake was a bit hesitant in the beginning. The government did not come out very clearly from day one and go, right, let's stop this dead in its tracks because we've already seen what's happening in the north. Let's stop this dead in its tracks right now. It's going to cost us X number of euros as a state, but the long-term damage is going to be a lot worse if we don't. So if it costs us 3,000 euros per livestock that's slaughtered, so be it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to have to cull a lot more animals or vaccinate a lot more animals to contain this. And in the end, the domino effect means we're not going to have the local meat supply. Yeah. We're not going to have the local milk supply. What does milk mean in Cyprus? Milk means halloumi.
Halloumi.
$300 million industry that could fold if we don't have milk. Why do I say milk? Because the animals that have foot and mouth disease can't produce milk.
That's the
problem. Or they
problem.
produce dribbles, okay?
Yeah.
And apart from that, they also die and they suffer. And these animals suffer.
They do.
It's a slow death and it's horrible. So
Yes.
it's actually more humane to cull them.
Yeah.
Now, the government has not been clear. It hasn't come out and done press conferences and really made it clear that, guys, our heart bleeds for you. You are going to suffer, yes, but we are going to try and limit the damage. We're going to try and contain this. So, Avdelero, Athieno, Aradipu, Nealdali, Nisu, we are going to ring fence you. We're going to slaughter all the animals, but you are going to get 3,000 euros, or whatever the figure is, okay, per animal. And we are going to ensure that you're going to be economically stable until you repopulate your farms.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it may be a little bit too late to contain this because another thing, by the way, I need to point something out. We've been hearing from some of the extremities of Cyprus saying, shut the green line down to stop the foot and mouth disease.
Yep.
What a freaking joke.
Yeah.
Because first of all, disease doesn't know barriers,
Yeah.
okay? It's not foot traffic in literacy that's bringing the disease over,
Yeah.
okay? It's coming over by illegal smuggling. It's coming over by accidental movement of things that aren't being checked properly, the checkpoints. It's also coming over naturally. I mean, hay, birds. I mean, like on
Rodents.
the hay,
Yeah.
on rodents. Okay?
Yeah.
So it can't be stopped. So this is where we need to work as a united island. And from what I understand, the Turkish Cypriot side has put out the hand of cooperation on this.
Okay.
Because look, and let's call a horse a horse. It is in their interest because the EU is willing to help.
Yeah.
It can come through the Turkish Cypriot funding for.
Is it true that they haven't culled any animals over there? Because that's something that I heard as well. They've only vaccinated, apparently.
They've done mass vaccinations. In fact, that they had so many vaccinations that they actually gave back to the south. I think the initial figure was 10,000. I think it's now 30,000. I stand to be corrected. That might be on information. But they have handed over vaccines to the south to try and to do the herd immunity, for lack. Excuse the pun, but yeah.
It's very reminiscent of COVID, isn't it?
It is. And I mean, like, look, we can't make the animals wear masks and we couldn't make the humans wear masks. But we also got to realize that the image of Cyprus, it's not just the meat and the 1,000 pig carcasses we were exporting and things like that. It's not just the halloumi. It's the image of the island. Tourists, if you remember the foot and mouth disease in the UK in 2001, I was living in Australia at the time. I remember tourists were cancelling their trips because they were scared of the disease, which does not...
I stopped eating meat for 10 years.
Let's make something very clear. Let's say some of the things that people need to know because this is not being said. First of all, halloumi is safe. Anything that is treated and cooked is safe.
Yeah.
I think at 70 degrees, if it's cooked at 70 degrees, it is safe. Halloumi is at 90 degrees.
Okay.
Well and truly safe.
All right.
Also, feta, which isn't cooked to such a high level, okay, but it has the acidic ingredients in it, also kills the disease. Cooked meats also kills the disease. Cooked meats, not raw.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is safe to eat at a restaurant. It is safe to move around the island.
Yeah.
You can't, as a human, get foot and mouth disease from animals.
Yeah.
So it is safe. Unfortunately, foot and mouth disease crisis, coupled with the regional crisis and the random drone that, it has changed the perception, and we're seeing, unfortunately, tourists cancelling their trips.
Yeah.
But you and I both know, look outside the window, life is as normal in Cyprus.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's probably safer than it ever was with the amount of warships in the waters between Cyprus and the Middle East.
Yeah.
So I think we're not factoring all the factors in.
Yeah.
We need to be a little bit more aware of this.
How do you think the government or the Ministry of Agriculture should have dealt with farmers saying, "I don't want you to come in and kill my animals"?
You don't have. It's like how you.
What is it? Is it education? Is it information? What is it? Because I'm finding it very difficult to believe that they don't understand how a virus works.
No, I think they know full well what's going on. I think it's a lot of denial and upset. I mean, you can't blame these people. They're watching their life's work vanishing.
But with it, I mean, I'll be the devil's advocate here because I know that you don't want to. But saying that Europe wants to kill my animals, Europe wants to get rid of my farms because Europe wants to sell me foreign meat.
No, God, no. No, Europe. We are Europe.
That is the kind of narrative that is going on amongst the farmers. Not all of them. Not all of them.
No. And this, I'm going to jump in. This is, we have to, as Cyprus, start realizing that we are not an individual lone island. Okay, we are full members of the Commonwealth. We are full members of the UN. We are full members of the European Union. We're full members of the Council of Europe. We are Europe. So when we say Europe wants something, we want something.
But they don't see it like that.
But we're a sum of our parts. We are one of the 27 member states with a full veto and voting rights. Okay? We have, Commissioner Kadis is for fisheries. He's a Cypriot.
Yeah.
Okay? We are in government. We are in the European Parliament. We are there. And they are here.
Yeah.
Okay. We are as Europe. And right now, funnily enough, we're holding the presidency.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't be more Europe right now. This is as Europe as it gets. So we have to stop otherizing ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, Europe doesn't want to kill all our animals. Europe doesn't want to sell us mainland Europe meat. Okay. Europe is very fine to purchase our meat, which we were selling to them, and to purchase our halloumi and whatnot. Okay. Europe wants what's best for itself, which includes Cyprus. It wants what's best for Cyprus. We want what's best for Cyprus. Okay. Our government is Europe. Our government wants what's best for Cyprus. But again, on the local level and at the European level, our communication machine is failing. It's not communicating and it's not delivering fast enough. We know that when the government, for example, the fires last year, okay?
Yeah.
We have seen, unfortunately, this government not reacting and not being on time when it's a crisis. Whether it's the fire that destroyed 1.3% of our land last year, whether it's the bunkers that we've now proven only cover 45% of the population.
Yeah.
And of the 45%, half of them not even going to be able to access the bunkers because they're either locked up or they're covered with grass or they're full of junk or they're unhygienic. Okay. So we have proven again that we can't react to a crisis. And now with foot and mouth disease, we're proving again that we can't react fast enough to a crisis. The fires last year, there was all this compensation announced for the victims that lost their farms, their houses, their businesses and whatnot. Okay. It's a year later, almost a year later, and a lot of them are still waiting for their payments. A lot of them are still waiting for compensation for the rent that they're spending elsewhere.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that kind of money sitting to cover until
Definitely
compensation comes. I want to give you a personal example now. I bought a property 7 years ago. Okay?
Yeah.
No, 8 years ago now.
Okay.
8 years ago, I bought a property for a business. Okay? And I paid VAT. And I was told that within 2 years, I would get that VAT back. So I planned my budget, my family's budget, my future based on that money coming back to me. I only got it a couple months ago, 8 years later. And that was after hundreds, not dozens, hundreds of phone calls, emails, visits to the authorities, go to this window, go to that window, come back, go there, go here, go there. When on paper, I was told 2 years. And that's just me, common Joe, who was comfortable and had the comfort to be able to invest.
Yeah.
Imagine a person whose house is burnt down or whose farm has lost all its product, all its animals. They can't wait 8 years for compensation. And that is why we have farmers saying, don't kill my animals. It's I don't want to use the word delirium because it's wrong. It's panic. They know that their animal's going to suffer, but it's the unconscious denial. It's human nature.
Yeah.
And we saw it in the pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, whilst other countries were furloughing and closing down businesses, but paying them compensation to keep them closed, as we saw in Australia, for example, and I was there and I saw it. In Cyprus, they shut everything down, but people weren't being compensated. There wasn't mass unemployment benefits and all that going around. So people, of course, pushed back against all logical science and reason.
Yeah. Let's take that and move into the elections, the last part. So, I mean, you've just said right now that there is a slow reaction. Mm-hmm. It's almost like we're not ready for anything. Mm-hmm. With these elections coming up, parliamentary elections, not that there's a lot of power in the hands of parliament members. You know, you need the, what do you call it? As well.
And then you need the cabinet.
You need the cabinet as well for a lot of things. What I'm trying to get at is that you hear a lot of people saying that nothing works in Cyprus. They're all useless. Mm-hmm. Let's get rid of them and let's put new people in. Mm-hmm. I'm having a hard time, though. I'm having a hard time understanding how someone or a party like Fidias's party or Elam or, I don't know, Vipa or Vigo are going to change things.
Yep. Look,
what I'm getting at is that, you know, we need change. Yes, we all know that we need change and there are things that need to be done yesterday.
Yes.
But I don't think that we're with this group of people. I think there's about 700 or 800 candidates right now.
I think
18
yeah.
parties.
Look,
there's 18 parties.
yeah.
Is this, I mean,
I think
are we
it's safe to
fixing anything?
say, look, yes.
Or making a bigger mess?
Yes and no. It's true. And with politics, it's like human nature in general. There's a bit of everything, okay? We have the two...
And should we give a disclaimer that you're running with Volt?
Sure.
We'll do that, okay.
So I'm number 11 in Nicosia.
He's number 11 in Nicosia, just so you know.
Running with Volt. Now, Volt Cyprus is a member of Volt Europa. So we have a backbone.
Yeah.
We have the support of the...
It's one of the reasons why I didn't mention you guys, yeah.
But I do want to say...
Go back to my question,
with your question. We are seeing the phenomenon, which is happening all over the world, by the way. It's not just in Cyprus. Where people are frustrated with the mainstream. Mm-hmm. They're frustrated in Cyprus, the Kolahosahos now, the CNAGEL, which are the two biggest parties. They are polling at the moment before the... when you include all the undecided and no answers, at the moment they're sitting on 12 to 14% each.
Which is...
This is insane, okay?
Low.
Like in the past, these are parties that were getting 30, 40%, okay?
Yep.
And that's a strong mandate. Mm-hmm. When you're getting 30, 40% times two, so the two biggest parties covering almost the vast majority of the population with a strong mandate, it made sense. People started seeing, though, that they weren't delivering. Whether it's their fault or not, that's the way the world is operating at the moment. Things are changing. Things are really quite complicated.
But they are at fault as well. There's a lot that could have been done. Because I didn't mention the CNAGEL when I mentioned the other parties, but it's because I wanted to focus on the...
No, I get it, but I'm getting to that. Because these two parties now, which is... Getting 12 to 14% is still impressive considering how upset everyone is at them. Yeah. Even their most diehard supporters. Okay? Yeah. Now, then you come along to these other small parties. Vico, VIPA, EDEC, the Greens, Volt, Amici Demokratia, Direct Democracy, and...
You've got Alma.
And Alma, okay? All these small parties, they're in between small and micro parties, okay? Some of them have strong agendas, with strong abilities, with strong resources, with really good people, and others not so, okay? I am not going to rat on any of the new guys because that's not my place to do that right now.
Okay.
And they will be judged once they're in Parliament and we will see what they can produce. And the same for Volt. We will see what Volt can deliver. What I can say is that right now we have independent MP Alexandra Talidou, who left the former party that she was with and is now with Volt. Okay, and she's, I mean, according to your Oxygen and Normal platform, she's number one and number two, in delivering questions and bills and participation in Parliament. That alone says something. Now, of course, I'm going to be biased and promote the values of Volt and the success stories of Volt, and I feel rightfully so because everyone else has these platforms to do so. We as Volt are not pretending to come in and be the new Disi or the new Agel and be the new number one or two. We're coming in and saying, we're happy to be at 5-6%. We're happy to be a strong force of reason, of moderation, of progressiveness, of future-looking Europeanization, of having the backbone of the support of 450 million Europeans, which are a part of our family now, okay? To step up and play with the big leagues, okay? Also, to be the voice against corruption and to promote transparency, because when the big shots in Parliament push things forward or whatever, we can be there. Us and some of the other parties that are trying to come in as well, to be there and say, explain that. You're wrong. To be a voice that has a platform like I am right now with you, okay? To be able to expose these things. But our job is not just to criticize and expose. Our job is also to create policy and to enact change, to bring Cyprus forward, whether it is to promote bicommunalism and the potential reunification of the island as a bizonal, bicommunal federation, which has been approved via UN resolutions. And we are not in a position, we do not have the luxury to change that and try and convert it to a two-state solution or a unitary state. We all would love to see a unitary state. Okay, we have to be realistic about this. But the thing is, to get there, there are some things that need to be done first. And we cannot get there, and we are not going to change the United Nations Security General, the P5. We're not going to change them overnight to change a resolution now. From now, okay? Once we reunify in a federation, we can move forward and push for more unitary, ever closer union, as the European Union says. Okay? Now, that's a Cyprus problem. the environment. We're watching our island desertify. We're watching our island. We dropped down to 9% water supply. 9%.
Scary stuff.
Thank heavens it has rained this last month.
Yep.
We're now at 27%. 27%, however, doesn't get us through spring if it doesn't continue to rain.
Yeah.
We still have summer and autumn ahead of us. Yeah. So, next step, desalinization.
I do want to stay on the environment part, because I was going to say that all the polls that they're doing and the issues that are burning people, the environment isn't on there, mate.
Yeah, and
it's not on there.
I think that's also because people weren't listed as the environment. They talk about it as energy sources, as cost of living, because this is all directly related to the environment. So cost of living and the environment. Let me give you the direct example. That's where I was going now with desalinization. We need to get our water via desalinization.
Yeah.
The UAE is desalinating with 100% renewable energy.
Wow.
Thus cheap. We're doing it with, bless them, donated facilities from the UAE, because it's their old facilities that they were going to trash. They donated them to us, and now we run them on crude oil, mazout. Okay. That is costing us a fortune, which we're paying for in our electricity bills. Yeah. Our electricity is produced via mazout, crude oil. This is not just, let's not even talk. Let's ignore the pollution. This is costing us a fortune. This is raising the cost of living. It's raising the cost of food. It's raising the cost of our outings. Yeah. It domino effects too. So I spend more on my fuel. I spend more on my food. So I charge you more on my hourly rates for my business or whatever. It dominoes. And as we know, when prices go up, they don't come back. Yeah. They never go back down. Yeah. So we need to bolster renewable energy to drop the cost of living. That in turn is going to help the environment. We want to cool the island because it's always over 40 degrees in summer and it's becoming unbearable. Thus, we have the air conditioner on 24 hours a day. Yeah. But if we had some trees in our cities, we could lower...
Same goes for the dust as well.
And the dust, it
becoming
dust,
unbelievably insufferable.
And that's the environment. Then again, with the education system, we need a massive overhaul of the education system. And it's not scary and it's not hard to do. We have been there in the past. We used to ace the European charts with our education levels. And we can get back there very easy as long as the Ministry of Education and our public sector schools actually start enacting the original curriculums and actually start allowing the children to be objective, to start introducing culture and the arts into the schools. Yep. Because I was just talking earlier to a musician who was on one of my podcasts, was saying to me that it is a scientific fact, and it's called the Mozart effect, that if students play a musical instrument for just 15 minutes and then go and do a maths exam, perform 20 to 30% better.
Wow.
I mean, for me, this is a no-brainer.
Well, they do say that reading music, studying music, it activates different neurons in your brain. And
both hemispheres of the brain and the neurons.
Exactly.
So, why on earth are we not having half an hour of music every second day or whatever in the schools, and theatre and dance and the arts and whatnot? The other thing, the all-day school. Yeah. Okay. We come and say, we should have an all-day school. We need an all-day school because parents need to work from 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 10 to 6, whatever the hours are, okay? Yeah. We need to have our kids in a safe space. The days of the grandparents looking after our kids is fast fading.
It has to go.
It's not just because of our grandparents are aging. The age gap between generations is widening drastically. Yep. So the grandparents are no longer young enough to look after kids like they were in the previous generation. Those of us that have grandparents and are lucky enough, great, but not everyone has that. Yeah. Also, people are living in different cities. They're urbanizing for work. We have grandparents that are continuing to work to make ends meet because the pension does not cover their needs. Yep. So the game has changed. And again, as a state, we're behind the 8 ball. And we have a lot of catching up to do. And things that are easy fixes. They're easy to fix. The Oloimero, yes, it will cost money. But the feedback, it will cost, I'm going to make up numbers now. It will cost 10 million to do Oloimero, the all-day school. Yeah. But the economic pullback will be maybe 20 million.
You know what I hear a lot at Costa when it comes to whether it's the environment or education or now with the foot and mouth disease, it's always about being understaffed.
Yeah.
It's always, we don't have enough educators who want to do the all-day school. We don't have enough people in the
veterinary services.
The veterinary services, yeah. It's constant. And the buses now. With the bus thing. Right, we don't have enough drivers, therefore we will stop the Bamin Express program or the Rasipi program, whatever it is. That is all. Is it an excuse or is it a genuine...
No, it's an excuse and it is poor HR management by the state because we have enough people on this island to run these things, okay?
We do.
We complain, many people complain about migration, which I'm sorry is an instant source of staff. Who is managing our pig farms? Who's running them? Who's feeding the animals? Who's looking after our kids?
Sites.
Who's constructing our building?
Our kids?
Across the road, who is doing the renovation works on that building across the road?
The church is building. Let's be...
Correct, okay. Who are the delivery drivers that bring our food every day?
Yeah.
Who's looking after our grandparents in the elderly home? Who is cooking in the kitchens of our restaurants? And before anyone says, but they're taking these jobs from Cypriots, where were the Cypriots doing these jobs and now they aren't doing them? Okay.
Yeah.
So, bus drivers, use that example.
Yeah.
The regulation says that you can't, you have to know Greek or English and English to be a bus driver.
Yeah.
Have you been to London? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but I would say half of those double-decker red bus drivers don't speak English.
Well, I was going to say that the majority of people in the fucking buses don't speak Greek.
Okay.
They do not speak Greek.
Who uses the buses of Cyprus? It tends to be foreign workers, migrants, tourists. Okay.
Yeah, so they couldn't care less if you speak Greek.
So, Granted, I would like to see them speaking at least some basics like next stop in 5 minutes.
Or even know the stops. I got a message from someone yesterday telling me that there are bus drivers who do not even know the stops.
No, okay. This is a matter of training. I mean, but the thing, look, we can staff the buses. We have the manpower out there, the human power out there. We have it, okay?
Yeah.
We are a country with an insane number of people in the public sector. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not going to rat on them or
go after them
because at the end of the day, good on them. They got their jobs. And there are many of them that are doing kick-ass work.
Yep.
Okay. There are many of them, and I want to make this very clear because a lot of people think that I criticize the government workers. And I do. I criticize the system. I don't criticize the staff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, they're handicapped. Their hands are tied. Some of them really want to do good things. Some of them really want to work hard. Some of them, I see it at the schools. Again, the guest I was talking to earlier was talking about these music programs that she goes and does in the schools. And I said, oh, wow, is the state putting that on? She said, no, it is the initiative, the private initiative of the teachers of that school.
Yep.
You know, so we need to acknowledge that the government workers, they're there. Most of them are doing a good job. Most of them are doing backbreaking work. I mean, they're out there doing what they're doing. But the system is not helping them.
Yeah.
It's not putting them in the right positions. It's not putting them... We have not enough staff in the veterinary services to go out and look at the farms. Then we need to be able to second them from other departments.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not allowed to cross ministries.
Yeah.
Okay? And these are things that the unions have put in place for certain reasons in the past. But these things need to be managed.
Yeah. So we need a change in the system. We all know that. It's just how are we going to do this change? And what are the ways and what are the people that we're going to put and implement there to do the changes?
Politicians, ministers, heads of ministries, NGO leaders, we need them to be speaking out confidently at political cost. So right now, one of the reasons why Volt isn't polling at 20-30% is because we say a lot of things that upset people.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it's because we speak the truth. Yeah. We don't hide behind our finger. We say, for example, using foot and mouth disease, we say that the European protocols, when I say European, that's Cypriot, okay? They need to be enacted for the greater good. And at the same time, though, we say that these people need to be compensated immediately. Yeah. Immediately.
I think that you come to the root of the problem. It's almost like people are unable to hold two truths.
Correct. It's what I said earlier about the two bad guys. You've got a bad leader of Iran, a bad leader of the US. There can be two truths.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sorry, but in this, look, first of all, I want to say that I'm absolutely loving this election period.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
having
glad.
the time
I
of my
was
life.
gonna ask you.
I'm having the time of my life.
Are you enjoying it?
I am. But what I'm really disappointed with is the amount of populism, the amount of comments that people like. I don't want to insult the memory of heroes and whatnot, okay? But everyone remembers in an election period to go to all the memorial services, to go and lay wreaths here, there, and everywhere, to go to all these things. This will not make my country go forward. You want to go to the memorial service? By all means, go. But at the same time, you need to be talking about the cost of living issues. You need to be talking about the transport issues, the traffic issues. Limassol is a parking lot.
Oh my God.
Okay, we need to, and we have great policy in Limassol about the traffic issue. They did a public town hall event recently for Volt where they talked about how this can be solved.
Yeah.
Will people listen?
But
We need enough people.
I was going to say, when you mentioned like the heroes that we're talking about, the whole thing with El Oga and Griva and the pissing contest that was between Elam and Visi. For me, it's not only that people are missing like the point, which is, hello, it takes me an hour. To get to my house that is 5 minutes away. It takes me 60 euros to feed my 3 kids, myself and my husband, one bitaso of suvlaga, let alone anything else that they want to eat. And here we are talking about the heroes who fell heroically 50, 100 years ago. What also bothers me, apart from the fact that we're missing the point, is that it seems that we are, what's the word that I want to use? It's almost like it's a heroism of some kind to spill blood, to go to war, to die for your country.
But retrospectively. Only in the past.
But and as a mother of 3 boys,
and as a father of 3 girls.
Yeah, but yours won't potentially go into war, Costa.
But women are.
They are.
The
we
biggest
know.
victims of war.
We know. Yeah, they could be used. I'm sorry. Yeah. As We know
what women go through.
What the number one weapon of in a war is. But raising 3 boys who are already very close to that machoism and that toxic masculinity that is constantly fed into them from social media. Then, looking at one of the biggest political parties in Cyprus saying Nachithito Eman and then Palikarkadun Praman and Imana was so proud of him. Fuck no, I'm not going to be proud if my son dies in a war just because someone decided to, not use their brain.
Wouldn't you, as a mother, I'm going to put you in a really sensitive position now. As a mother, let's say, touch wood, and I'm going to pick a raw nerve here. You lost a child because he died in war. Would you rather just see a statue on a corner somewhere, they go and put a wreath on every now and then and call him a baligari and a hero and whatever? Or would you rather see a kindergarten, a school, a playground, a charity center opened in his name?
Thank you. Exactly.
I want to see my sacrifices, or their sacrifice, not mine. I want to see their sacrifices used for what they sacrificed themselves for. They did not say, we need to have a few statues and monuments, of course. I'm not going to deny that. But their sacrifice was for our today. So I'll use the example of the park near my house, and those that follow me on Facebook will be aware of this. They pulled down the playground 6 years ago in our neighborhood to replace it because it was unsafe. It was unsafe for 2 years before that. So it's been 8 years that we haven't had a safe playground. 6 years we haven't had a playground at all.
Wow.
And we've been waiting for this playground to be built. And the municipality of Nicosia, bless them, have been promising this playground will be reinstalled. And the excuse we keep getting is that they don't have money for it. In this playground, in December, they put up a statue of an Ayoka hero.
I was going to joke and say, did they put up a statue?
They put up a statue.
And they did.
They put up a statue at a cost of a few €1,000, plus the marble and the landscaping that went around it. Then, and I'm not without word of an exaggeration, €600 worth of wreaths were laid on this monument the day it was inaugurated. I have no problem with the hero that they've put a statue of. I've got no problem with their family. He's a hero from 70 years ago who died for the freedoms we enjoy today. Those freedoms that we enjoy today should include a park. That park should have been named in honor of this hero.
And those freedoms should include my son's right to live in a war-free zone.
Correct.
You know, if you died for my freedom, then you died for my child's freedom. And I don't want my child to do that.
Look, I went to the inauguration of this statue just to see who would attend.
I'm sure you did.
And I think you would all know who attended this.
Of course we do.
And I, right or wrong, I went to speak to people.
Oh.
Okay?
Right.
And I'm not going to name names, but unanimously, every single one of them that I spoke to agreed with me that indeed the park should have been built in the name of this hero, and the statue as well, if they want, fine. But the park should have been named after this hero, and it will be forever. The name evades me right now. Goes to show you how, because no one remembers the name of a statue, they remember the name of a park. Like we got the park up in Aglanja, Spiros Kyprianou Park. We know it as Spiros Kyprianou because it's named after the former president, the late president. Okay,
but it's so funny that you mentioned that when you went up to them, and they said, "Yeah, we agree."
But none of them have done anything about it.
But none of them have done.
since.
And I was going to say that I had a long conversation with someone from Elam the other day. And the amount of things that he agreed with me on were just plain shocking. I don't find myself often shocked, but yeah, you're right about that. You're right about the abortions. We shouldn't be targeting abortions. You know what? Yeah, you're right. That black guy has done nothing to me. I don't care. The black kid in the school.
What the LGBT family doing their own harm.
Yeah, I literally have my neighbour's gay, and okay. But you are supporting a party who is saying something completely different because you think that is what your voter bloc wants.
Yep.
Is it? Is that what they want? Is that what voters want?
To be honest with you.
Isolationism. And also the other thing that I've noticed, Elam's slogan, do you know what it is?
Prodai Kypros.
Who else has that?
Britain first, USA first, America first.
America
One
first.
nation, Australia.
There you go.
But isn't it ironic also that these countries, when they say Britain first or America first, they actually mean America first. They actually mean Britain first. But here when we say Prodai Kypros, we actually mean Hellenism in Greece. And it's kind of ironic.
True.
It's like, guys, I see what you're trying to do, and you're trying to copy the far right example around the world. So that actually should mean that you should be staunch nationalist Cypriots.
Yeah, it
and
actually
you're
means
not.
you should be holding the Cypriot flag.
So technically speaking, does that make me a fascist? Am I because I'm so pro-Cyprus, does this make me a far-right winger? No, it doesn't, because it does. The rest of the terrain doesn't go with it.
Exactly.
But Prodai Kypros echero. That's really nice.
I know.
Yeah.
Ibon, okay, right. So let's wrap this up. I'll let you do a little campaign round here. Look, everyone knows that I support Volt. I've had, God knows how many of you have come into the studio and done a podcast with me. I really, really do believe in the philosophy and policies. What I do want to ask you, though, is if someone is thinking of voting for Volt and they want to know where you stand on that issue, on this issue, where can they go? What can they do? And how can they help?
First of all, I am happy for anyone to call me because I've made everything public. So you can find me on Facebook, Costa.Constanti.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Yep. You can find me on Instagram, Costa.Constanti. You can find me via my telephone, 96676874. You can find me via my email, costa.constanti@volteuropa.org.
Okay.
You can find anyone from the Volt Party via our website. Just Google Volt Cyprus and it comes up, and you can see all our candidates. You can see all of our political council members. We're all there. Now, why should somebody vote for Volt? And thank you. I'm really happy to hear that you're with Volt, because I figured you were a perfect formula for Volt. But
Yeah,
I'm it's the first time I'm hearing it out loud, so I'm very proud of you, Eleni.
I am, and I haven't. And something that a lot of people don't know is that I haven't voted yet, because I've not had a voter ID. I'm getting it sorted before April 2nd,
You
guys.
got to the 2nd of April to get registered to vote, and every vote counts, because right now all the polls are showing Volt getting into Parliament, but with not a huge lead.
Yeah.
And we need to get in solidly. We need to get more than the 2-seat minimum.
Yeah.
Okay? Help us out, because we are a party that exists, has existed, has a backbone with 27 other EU member states, and also Volt Europa members in other states, such as the UK and Ukraine. Okay? We have a backbone. We have policy. We are not leader-centric. We are a sum of our parts. We have 56 candidates plus 26 political council members. Okay? We come from all walks of life. As we say in Greek, όλα τα στρέμματα της ζωής. We're from all the layers of society. We have 5-member families. Like 3 of us that are candidates have 3 children. Okay? So Bendamelis.
That's more than a lamb.
Yeah. We have all done the army. You threw me a bone there.
I had to, sorry.
We have people on the list that are repatriated Cypriots like myself and Despo in Bafo. We have people that are refugees like Spirula Nadasa from Karinia, myself from Labithos and Yalusa, but I'm actually running in Nicosia. We have people from the business world. We have people from the sporting world. We have people that were former influencers, that have become politicians, that have become entrepreneurs. We have AI geniuses like Eugene in Famagusta, and you may know Bigfoot Cyprus.
I saw that.
So Bigfoot is with us. So we even have mythological creatures, but it's a very real person behind him. We have academics. We have chefs. We have at least 2 psychologists. We have a dentist. I mean, Sotos the dentist, Andriy Hara the psychologist. I mean, we have people from all over the place representing the entire island. We have Anna, which hails from the Boli Chrysochou area, Peristerona in Bafo. So we're going deep into the rural villages.
Yeah.
We are everywhere. We are everyone. We are Cypriots. We are inclusive. We're trying to reach out to the 42% of Cypriots that are either foreign origin, European Union citizens, or repatriated like myself, who Greek is not their first language. But these people vote.
Yeah.
Yes, there are many migrants, for example, that don't have voting rights yet.
Yeah.
But many do. Many Ukrainians, Russians, British, Australians have voting rights, especially the repatriated Cypriots get voting rights immediately because they're already citizens. So we're reaching out to the English language world as well, and the Arabic and the Polish and the Romanian and the Ukrainian.
And you know what I always say is that if you do really want new blood in this game, this is it.
We're not just represented, we represent the majority populations, like the Greek Orthodox community and things like this. We represent the LGBT community. I mean, Nicolas, he was the former head of Accept.
Yeah, Nicolas is on the ticket now, isn't he?
Yeah, and we're very proud of Nicolas. I mean, he represents the LGBT community, but not just that, he's also an entrepreneur. He runs a business. He's out there. He runs events with nostalgia. I mean, like, we are more than one identity. I'm not just the father of 3. I'm not just an international relations expert. I'm also, like, social analysis. I mean, I run my own business. I have a podcast. I have, I also, for people that follow me, I do the Cyprus pop quiz, where I go out into the remote areas of Cyprus and find archaeological heritage sites and share them with people.
We've been educated a lot by you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are passionate about Cyprus. We are moderate. We're progressive. We're forward-thinking. We're European. We're Cypriot. We are inclusive of absolutely everybody. We embrace everybody, even those that right now are feeling far right-wing or far left-wing even. We embrace everyone. We're open to challenges. We're open to talk. We're open to change our own minds about things as well. We're dynamic. And we will, once we're in Parliament, be there for good. We're not going to disband after 6 months because some of us have decided to jump ship.
Okay.
So, betting on Volt is a sure bet.
Okay. So, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And I wish you nothing but the best.
And hopefully we'll see you on our ticket in 5 years for the next parliamentary.
It's not happening. Bye.
Bye-bye.